Hi, Brett Womack. I would just like to take a moment to remind you to turn off your cell phones, mute them, do what you gotta do so they're not buzzing and ringing throughout the show. I would like to also take a moment to thank our lovely swings and our stage manager, Shannon. And my name has been Andy Brown, and I really hope you enjoyed the show. And I directed it, yeah.
Sisyphus of Thessaly, born to high status and wealth, ere long would become a king, a detriment to his whole self.
More cunning a trickster never touched the peninsula of Greece, for Sisyphus of Thessaly was conniving, to say the least.
Betrayed Zeus and cheated death, that much we know from the myth. Locked away in Tartarus for everything Sisyphus did.
Forced to labor on a stone till it tumbles down, twisting the knife. Now the people know his death more than they knew his life.
Philosophers have written about him, arguments, essays, and books, picked apart his psyche and his history, motives, and looks.
Deemed absurdist by Kamy and hailed as such for many years, very little added on by any of that writer's peers.
So now we wait and watch and think on Sisyphus wiping his brow. We view his toils and watch unfoil a what-if scenario now. Dissect a brain and analyze the weight of an infinite toll as Sisyphus of Thessaly finally achieves his goal.
Boulder rests on this dirt patch. This is where it's always found. It's made one big desired path. From endless tumbles down. It's perfectly spherical from the erosion. To think it was like this before, but hey, what do I know? The boulder is cold to the touch, just as the dirt, grass, mud, and moss. But it will warm up soon enough from my body heat rubbing off. It's sturdy, unbreaking, it moves on aching. It's never to slip from my grip until fate runs its course. My endless long ascension to the heavens, just to have it fall. That is my purpose, and I'm fine. The boulder here is all I know. The memories fade like bruises fast. Push it up and then let go. Absurdly, a calming task. My muscles are screaming, my bare feet are burning, but pain is a mute point when you don't know how healthy feels. The boulder's my entire world. Like Atlas, I must bear its load. The mental fog is one big swirl. Happy, sad, I can't know. My purpose is routine, my purpose is static. My purpose for pushing this boulder forever and more. It's draining, mind is waning. Every day then inevitably falls. That is my purpose, and I'm fine. The boulder's my purpose. The boulder is my purpose. stand akimbo in a never-ending limbo. At least, this is something to do.
Imagine the pain he must be going through. Imagine the pain.
Ignoring the pain that I'm used to. Just push.
Just
Push. I really am fine. It's as easy as breathing after infinite repeating. So what if I break my back? It'll always heal, walk back. I get a break when walking back down.
I'm getting quite bored. As a highlight, he's no good, so he'd be better off as a footnote in a book on Greek mythology.
I think we all agree
It's not a great plot to adhere to.
2, 3, know that I can hear you.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you hear us?
Like my own voice,
Can you see us?
with my own hands.
Can you feel us?
You're warm.
Apologies.
Freaking out. Someone here as long as you join in human contact, make you go freaking psycho.
You're in my head. I know you're nothing but pale figments. My mind is rather vivid. It's happened many times before.
No, we are real as we can be.
Though we have no real way to prove him wrong.
Oh, wait, you're waxing me, you're waning. We have lots to be explaining to this poor guy, poor soul, poor man, poor
Understand, I'm busy. I'm presently preoccupied. I have into the focus to hear you all philosophize.
poor man, poor man, poor man, poor man. Oh, aren't you so much better than this? So much better than this, poor man. So much better than this.
How am I so much better than this?
Why, you're Sisyphus!
Sisyphus, Sisyphus.
Ooh.
Did you just ask who? As in, who is Sisyphus? As in, you don't remember who you used to be? Who is Sisyphus?
Yes. Who indeed?
Are we mispronouncing your name, or do you just not remember it?
See, my memory fades in a way that is fickle. My first memory is here in this realm. The long-term is cut out as though by a sickle, like weeds in a garden to not overwhelm. If anything predates this, any tales of greatness, well, I haven't the faintest.
Fellows, we have to educate him. Sir,
harmonious, with no consequence.
Find a money pit. You must play the tyro
With his niece.
With my niece.
and the children she will bear will overthrow your royalty.
So he laid with Tyro,
With my niece.
with your niece, but when she learned of those plans, she killed those children.
Brutal.
Hold this.
You were a man!
You were a king.
You were a legend.
You were a...
No, that doesn't sound like me. Sorry to interrupt, but I disagree. I'm no king and no lover, and I hope I'm not that cruel. No tales of legacies change the fact that I am but a fool.
But there's more. Surely you remember. Zeus had a plot far from his best, but just as evil as all the rest. We confided in you. Here's what I plan to do. Daughter of the river god, and China has a killer god. I'll take her away straight to our home, where we can make daughters of our own.
Zeus took the form of a bird and carried me off without a word.
When her father came to look for help, he came upon your royal self.
I know where your daughter is, but first I must use leverage. The information in exchange for a spring to flow in my domain.
It is done, I say.
They went that away.
Susie got real ticked about it, called the Great Grim Rebirth Thanatos. Come up to the surface for Sisyphus' soul.
Your time has come to die, sir.
Well, does it care what will he do with its job?
Recall that he was clever. Well, clever by ancient Greek standards.
Are you sure you know how to work these chains?
Why, of course I
Well,
do.
could you please show me?
Well, you
Is
just...
it something like this?
You nearly choked him out of breath. Sisyphus, you captured death.
You were a man.
You were a king.
You were a legend.
You were a...
No, that doesn't sound like me. Sorry to interrupt, but I disagree. I'm no conniving trickster, and I'm certainly not strong. I'm plain and simple, you must have it wrong.
But wait, surely you remember.
Hold this! After death was locked away, no one died a single day. Bloodshed and sacrifices were no more. This anger lived on for every sentence, greed and lust, and on the head of Sisyphus.
Hold this!
Idea of working great clarity.
Talk to your life therapy.
Very soon will come for me, throw my corpse off the balcony. Leave me bare, no clothing nigh. This plan took too long to justify. Just do it.
With great confusion to her husband's delight, the conclusion was to demolish the bad characteristics of Persephone's feet to play his tricks.
Why have I come here so deflated? My body must be desecrated. Please let me return.
Back to life.
Yes, to life. There I may see my funeral rites are carried out. Then I shall return.
Do you promise?
Yes, I do.
Then see that you are buried and return straight here.
Let me guess.
Of course you didn't return.
Hold this. They sent Hermes to retrieve you and drag you back to hell. You were kicking, screaming, crying.
Too Tartarus you were condemned. This boulder is your punishment.
You were a man.
You were a king.
You were a legend.
You were a...
No, that doesn't sound like me. Sorry to interrupt, but I disagree. I couldn't have cheated death, and I doubt I did it twice. I'll raise your friends, what I know will suffice.
Well, surely you remember all
I
this.
don't remember anything.
When Orpheus came and said,
I don't know that name.
they say you stopped your toiling.
I stop and start quite
It
often.
was more beautiful than anything I
at least I'm not the one who dropped it.
I understand your musings. I get the way that you think, but perhaps take it on yourselves to listen. Descend and ground yourself. I'm in no need of help, regardless of the history you've given. You say my state of being's accursed, but I just cite a distantly remembered verse. Perhaps you don't adhere to this, but I say ignorance is bliss. And if the saying holds true, I'm as pure as a newborn. Myths are only relevant to you, for I have nothing to mourn. Call my life absurdist to say I'm sick in the head. To me I have a purpose. King Sisyphus is dead. I know no things like transience. Eternity is well spent. My existence isn't the fanciest, but I am content. Everyone knows this world is wide. Something difficult to be reconciled. But this boulder's my purpose, with it I'll reside. My philosophical suicide. You call this all meaningless, but it's the most I'll ever find. Say I'm bored and sad repeating this, but I'm happy in my mind. Call my life absurdist to say I'm sick in the head. To me I have a purpose. King Sisyphus is dead. I know no things like transience. Eternity is well spent. My existence isn't the fanciest, but I am content. So what is it to you? Trying to pry into my head. If what you say is true, I'm already dead. And I'm at peace. Don't disturb a grave. Calm down, desist, and cease. There's nothing for you to save. A boulder here is all I know. So what? My purpose is absurd. I live in it wholeheartedly, and every second's blurred. And I My task is done. My so-called punishment. The impossible is done. I let go. It doesn't move. It's not falling, not rolling, just finally still. I won. A pattern roll. I'm so unsure. My knees fall to the ground. I feel
Back down. Sisyphus didn't know what to do.
Listless, he fell victim to. He felt fear.
It doesn't make sense. I've done this whole dance a billion times. I need it back. I need it back. It is my lifeline. I look around at the base of this mountain and see 1,000 rocks of equal size. I simply mustn't have realized that I pushed a different one along. That's why everything is wrong.
Sisyphus of Thessaly, the poor, the fool, the wretch, was thinking irrationally and climbed back down to fetch a different rock in hopes that that one would soon slip. Just to despair that that too made the full trip.
Oh, no, this isn't the end. I must have gotten the wrong boulder again. Know how I managed it. This must have lost track. I'm in the gods above and below to give me my purpose back.
So he climbed down again. Then he got another boulder.
Then he got another boulder.
Then he got another boulder. Then he
got
got
another
another
boulder.
Sisyphus had pushed up every single boulder to the mountain's peak.
But nothing worked.
In a fit of desperation, for the first time in his memory, Sisyphus managed to leave the mountain.
Sisyphus began to wander, Tartarus, curious of what he might find.
Dozens of other poor souls like him, slaving away at the eternal grind.
Past a man weaving endless rope with a donkey eating what he made.
Until he passed a man working tirelessly with a distantly familiar face.
Who are you?
I'm Sisyphus, and you are.
I'm not sure.
Or by the name embezzled on your chariot, I'd say you were Salmonius,
Salmonius.
my brother.
Your brother.
His brother, a brief history of Salmonius. Salmonius was the king of Salmone, and he ruled with a fist of cold steel. He wanted to ensure that the fear of the gods was all that his subjects could feel. Sisyphus' thunder is what he wanted, so he built a bridge of brass, and he rode his chariot over the metal really, 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 really fast. And it crashed real loud, and it scared the people boothless.
brief history of the Denides. 50 daughters to one father and 9 mothers. They had marriages arranged, but their father plotted to kill the 50 husbands for no apparent reason. Guess he was deranged. On the night after their joint wedding day, 49 killed them all dead. But Inertia decided to spare the life of her newlywed. Her father got mad, but her husband killed her father, and she was sent up to Elysium. But the other girls were sent down here to hell, and I could name 49, but we've a story to tell.
Lest I doubt I would remember which one of them I was.
So now the 49 of them must fill the sleeping tub, one gallon at a time, for all time.
Why don't you just plug up the hole? Doesn't that seem rather simple?
Yes, but that sort of defeats the whole purpose of it all.
Don't use the word purpose. You don't know what purpose is.
We do and we have one, and it's this.
You wouldn't know purpose if it rolled you over.
Sisyphus trudged on determined to find anybody who could talk some sense.
Saw a giant getting its livery eaten by some vultures and a whole host of suffering titans.
There had to be someone in this never-ending hell who could understand the struggle of his hunt.
Then Sisyphus came across a riverbank and trees surrounding a man chained up.
What's your deal?
What?
What's your deal? You're the last inmate here I can find.
I'm just kind of here. I need food and water I can't have.
And one of you summarize.
Sure.
Allow me. A brief history of Tantalus. Tantalus was close with the gods of Olympus and welcomed at Zeus's table. But he abused his position and took advantage of it whenever he was able. To test the ambitions of the gods, he killed and diced up his son and offered up the parts as a feast for nearly the whole pantheon. But the gods caught on and they didn't touch their dinners, and Tantalus was punished, obviously. And way back for his son was okay thanks to magic, but that's a tangent for another time. So Tantalus was sit down and placed among the reeds, but when he wants to get some food or water, both of them recede, and he's stuck going back and forth for all time. Motivation, I guess. It was mentioned by a poet once and nowhere else.
It looks like my boulder.
Well, you can't have it, it's mine.
No, I can just grab you the fruit. The branches don't proceed from me.
Well, no, I don't actually want it. I've made it this far without it. If it's good, then I suffer the more when you're gone. If it's bad, I have nothing to reach for. Don't rob me of the purpose King Hades has given me.
Well, I've been robbed of my purpose, King. King Hades. Yes, that's it. I'll go to King Hades, of course, to give me my boulder back.
He set up to find Hades, the person, not the place. And without the sad South, Sisyphus was the first to leave Taurus.
This reminds me of my own work. Oh yes, it intrigues me.
Which work of yours,
Regardless, it reminds me of the cave.
The cave?
Yes, the cave.
What cave?
The allegorical one.
You mean the allegory of the cave?
That's right, yes, sir. Oh, yes, that's right.
Explain it.
That I will. The cave. I'm reminded of an excerpt from my Socratic dialogue. The cave. It's an allegory for the plights of ignorant fog. Entertain this notion with me. Two groups of people trapped. They behave much the same. I'll prove that this comparison is apt. The cave starts with people in the dark. The shadows are all they know. They're locked up, chained up, forced to watch a terrifying puppet show. Then the gambling man comes along and he frees just one poor prisoner running away, and he leads them to the surface world to see the light. They take in the marvelous beauty of everything.
himself. Well, who's the boss around here?
Don't you pull that card.
He deserves to die. He deserves life.
He deserves neither.
I think.
I think.
I think. I think.
I think.
I think. I think.
I think.
I think. I think they're wrong. I think they're right. I think that all of this feels rather trite. Which one is worse? What does life mean? I suppose that's why we have philosophy. I think, I think, I think, I think,
Oh no, that doesn't fit me. That didn't sound like me. They didn't sound like me. They sought after nothing but a frivolous rule. Their scope is minuscule. I am not the fool. Those prisoners were sad and desperate for meaning. They only know their torture and pain. They are simply blind to the beauty I've seen. Kept in my boulder so plain. They're victims of their limited scope. They don't know what's good from bad. They don't even know how to hold. Then again, that stone is all I've had. No, no, bad isn't the same. The difference is plain. They're living in shame. My destiny's woven by a multicolored spool. My boulder is a tool. I am not a fool. Or perhaps I am in denial. How am I to know what I don't know? The tales I've heard are reckless and wild. But how am I inclined to believe them even so? my king.
Never in my endless reign as king of my hypothesis land has anybody asked something so callous. You wish to be punished more. Oh my good man, you must understand that I have lost my malice.
And you must understand yourself that there's no punishment I have ever known until the fateful day that I succeeded. If you deem me worthy, I simply seek a meaning for myself.
I deemed you worthy of punishment long ago, when you remembered your life that was needed. But now I can hardly justify keeping you in hell.
But that is what I want, don't you see? And only you can offer that to me. So I ask of you to hear my plea and reunite me with my stone.
A good idea, I must say.
It doesn't matter how much you may ask. You deserve better than a never-ending task. You won't be locked up in a casket. No life as a drone.
Then what do you propose?
You've a narrow vision of the world to search for purpose here. Why limit yourself to so few options? Of course, there's only so much I can do. You're still dead after all. That's not nothing to be pardoned. What you seek is order. What you seek is purpose. That's something that I'm happy to provide. If I could pull some strings, I could possibly give you a second, no, third, no, fourth chance at life.
Life, you say, is there a chance that life could have a boulder much like my own? That is all I want and all I ask of you, nothing more.
Well, maybe not a boulder like the one you knew, but a metaphorical stone. You would be amazed by all the wonders the world has in store. It's more beautiful than any mountain peak. You can find any purpose you seek. You'll no more be a wretch and a freak, but a man through and through.
To be honest, that sounds a bit pleasant. The perks of boulders without the messes. No pain to none, just drawbacks to stresses.
On the other hand, it's right for you.
Yes, I think it's plain to see a return to the living is just the thing I deserve after all this through. Life has a normalcy, a perfect world for me, and it's time to open this chapter, volume 2.
Care on my loyal ferryman. Bring this man back to life at once.
You had better be certain of this.
Of course I am, my dearest wife. Living is full of forgets that while the gods will never change, humans always can.
I only seek a purpose, a claim to call my own, a task, a job, a metaphysical throne.
You only seek a purpose, yes, that's something you've made rather clear, but what if you reach it? What then? You're back to the fear. Long ago, I found myself appearing in this land. Nothing to my existence except Carol the ferryman. I guided souls along their way, never fully knowing why, until it clicked one fateful day, the meaning of my endless rides.
Where is the meaning in sailing run a river bank, just to reach the other side? It's like climbing a mountain to reach its peak, disappointed at what you'll find.
Life is not the shores you reach, it's not the boat you sail. Life is the river you ride along, to stop in its flow is to fail. Poor guy, poor wretch, poor soul. It's time you wrote a story for yourself that no one can forget. I will see you again in a few decades' time. The best is still before you, the river flows yet.
So a plan, no bolter, just all of my burdens to shoulder. I'm no atlas, how can you expect this?
You'll find their boulder is your process, not your objective. The struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. I will see you again in a few decades. The best is still before you, the river flows yet. With that, Sisyphus leaves the cave.
Sisyphus reaches the world of the living. He breathes in real air for the first time in his memory. He takes in all there is to see.
We don't know how time works in Tartarus, so what was eternity down there could have been minutes or millennia in the real world.
Either way, it's beautiful to him, a vague sense of nostalgia despite not remembering anything.
The melancholic tang of all the baggage being alive carries with it.
The overwhelming attacks on all five senses.
The resolve to begin and the newly found fear to end. It all washes over him at once.
Oxygen. Toxicating. A star